Congratulations! We've passed our pre-assessment. We've taken another step closer to graduation. On this video, we'll discuss how to access and review our pre-assessment report. We will be able to identify areas of success and growth opportunities. We will review what our next steps should be and where to find helpful information. Let's get started and take the next step towards completing this course. First thing we need to know is where to locate the pre-assessment report. Once we've taken the pre-assessment report, we will be given the pre-assessment report or coaching report. Navigate to the course of study page in your student portal and locate the assessments area. From here, we should see a clickable link to our pre-assessment report. The example image on the left shows a course where we click on the assessments tab in the center at the top and then scroll down. And the image on the right displays what it will look like if we are in a course where we simply just scroll down. Notice that the pre-assessment link will look similar in both course styles. Also, the following report will be similar regardless of course style as well. Here, we have an example of the pre-assessment report. There are some key things to take note of. One, the overall cut score is displayed at the top. The black vertical line indicates a passing score. This is the overall cut score required to pass the assessment. To pass, we will either achieve a green competence score, like this one, or a blue exemplary score, like this one here. As long as we have achieved either of these on the overall cut score, we should feel confident in taking our objective assessment. The second thing we want to notice is that below the overall cut score, we see the individual unit scores. These are presented in the same way. The black vertical line will indicate a passing performance. Any areas where we scored to the left of the cut line will be marked as red, not evident, or yellow, approaching competence, like we see here. These areas should be reviewed and studied further before our objective assessment. The third area of interest is to the right of the unit name. Here, we see the percentage of the unit's overall impact on the assessment. This can be very helpful when we are deciding where to focus our attention. Please be sure to speak to either your course instructor or your program mentor about how to create a successful study plan based on these percentages. So a lot of you are probably asking yourself, what's next? Now we need to navigate to the assessment services area in your student portal and review the available articles there. To find it, you go to your student portal, you click on the Student Support tab in the top right-hand corner of the navigation bar, and from the drop-down you can select Assessment Services. It should take you to this page and everything should load the way that you see it here. The highlighted articles in the center of the page are the ones that we want to review. We don't need to review these multiple times unless we have additional questions, but it is important that we understand all the policies and how to set up correctly before we go into the test. That brings us now to scheduling our exam. Once we've reviewed the articles in the assessment services area, once we've reviewed the pre-assessment report, we feel ready to take our exam, we need to navigate to the assessment area again of our course of study page and select the Schedule Now button. From there, we will be redirected to our online proctoring provider, where we will either schedule our exam or use a Take Now option to start your exam right then. Once the exam is scheduled, you will see the assessment area of your course of study update with the date we have scheduled. We will need to return to this area at the time that we have selected and click on Assessment Center to launch our attempt. Here's where we go to schedule. Here's what it looks like when we scheduled the exam. This is where we go when we want to return and take the actual test. So it's time to take your objective assessment. There's some things that we want to remember. Only take a break if you really, really need it. I wrote in here medically necessary. Okay, that's how severe it should be if we are going to take a break. Any break that we take, we need to make sure that we answer all questions ahead of time. Any questions that were left blank before our break will be scored as a 0 after our break. You have to have a valid ID. And by valid, that means that your dates need to be up to date. It needs to be valid. It can be any form of state ID. A driver's license will work. An ID card will work. Next thing you want to remember is clean your work area of everything but a dry erase board and a dry erase marker. The dry erase board needs to be cleaned off. The dry erase marker needs to not have erroneous things hanging off of it or written on it or anything like that. You can use the dry erase board to remind yourself of things or write things down during the exam, but it will be asked that you clean that off before the end of the exam. We need to make sure the door is closed, and we need to notify the people in our home that we're about to take a test. Okay, everybody should be understanding of what's going on, and they need to understand that they need to stay out. You are, of course, allowed to have very small children, I believe up to the age of like 2 or 3 in the room with you if you need them, but please make sure that you are alone if you can be, and that the rest of the household understands that you need privacy. We want to turn off all music or video media, whether that's something on a cell phone, a TV, Alexa, Bluetooth speaker, anything like that. All that stuff needs to be silenced. We cannot have our cell phone with us. We can't have any TVs on, no radios on, nothing like that. Okay. And finally, give yourself plenty of time. Sometimes getting set up for these can take a minute. We need to be patient. We need to make sure that we're not operating on a truncated timetable. We want to make sure that we have lots of time available and that we can, be very patient and not get frustrated or worry about time during our exam. Okay. Our next slide here is frequently asked questions. Can I use the internal webcam on my computer? No, we have to use the external webcam, okay? When you onboarded here at WGU, we've suggested webcams. We've made it known that we need webcams. If you need additional information on webcams, your program mentor can provide that to you. What do I do if there's an issue or problem during my exam? Notify your proctor immediately, okay? You need to make a noise, click a button, get their attention. Once you have their attention, you communicate with them what is going on, and once that is concluded, if we need to contact assessment services, please do so. Their contact email and telephone number are listed here. And if you do contact them, please make sure that you loop in your course instructor and program mentor on the communication. If you have any other questions, please make sure to bring it up to your program mentor or course instructor. But from here, good luck. You've got this. Good luck on that test. Take care. Bye.